So, now it is time to see who has built the better car using their budget. Oh, yours is actually slightly lighter than mine. But look at how identical our performance point rating is. Your performance point rating to mine is 618.72. Mine is 618.64. So with that performance point offset, this should be good for us. What do you think of the sound? So I'd say you've got me in corners, but I've got you in like maybe stuff that's like top end based. That actually doesn't sound that bad. I've got like full racing, everything which I could afford. I've actually fully upgraded one of these and it can make even more power. This thing, when you fully max it out, this thing can make like 450 horsepower on the stock engine. It's pretty simple if you think about it. We're going to do it in 3 different segments. Each one consisting of different types of tracks and different sizes. So firstly we're going to be starting out here at Brands Hatch. And maybe even be finishing at a place like even the Nordschleife or something like that. I think that would be a good final test. And I'd say for the middle test, maybe a place, maybe somewhere like Monza for example, would be more approachable. Just as I thought. I pull away on the straights, but you gain it back in the corners. Shall we see who can get the better lap time out of 3 laps before we do the actual race? So that we can get a feel for the cars. I'll let you be ahead and we'll go for our flying laps. No, the lap that we finish on after that will be. I can actually hear a small bit of dump valve noises in this thing. Has this inline 5 got a dump valve? It's basically the same thing, just different. Oh, a bit of crackling from the exhaust, nothing that bad. Okay. So on my formal out lap, I did a 203, but that doesn't count. Okay, this thing's actually got better brakes than I anticipated for a family station wagon thing. Maybe took a bit too much there, but I'm sure it's regainable. If I've got the horn on, that means I'm dealing with stick drift stuff. Okay, not a bad corner exit there. Oops, I went off into a gravel trap. That won't make the lap the best round here, but somehow still getting some purple sectors, so can't really complain. With my cock up, I put down a 146.2, but I think if I didn't do that, I would get closer to like a 141 or something like that. May have, even though I'm 6, I would say not too bad overall. It actually handles good for what it is. Okay, maybe 6 tenths down in the first sector and 3 tenths down in this sector, but it should all be gained in that sector where I went off last time. What? But the difference is what your wins were on are not in a car like that. Okay. Okay. With a proper lap time in, I put down a 142.7, which actually isn't too bad, bearing in mind I'm at a disadvantage in places like the cornering sectors. But I will say, all that looks promising. Just got 2.5 tenths up on my best lap, and 2.5 tenths overall. 8 tenths in this sector coming up here over your lap time. Two and a half tenths here. I think at this rate I may be able to get like a low 140 or something. Because even though on these straighter parts I may be better, clearly that S13 can gain a lot more. Little bit tight through there, but yeah, my fastest lap was the 1:42.7. Didn't quite manage to get it that time round. Yes. I think 3 laps will be reasonable for this to start off with. So without further ado, let's see how they do head to head. I think we'll do like 3 laps on Monza as well or something like that. And then we'll do a lap on Nordschleife. Yeah. I think that's where that thing's gonna dominate of yours. Because that thing's a cornering beast. But it can handle like fast corners quite well. What the hell? Yep, as I've got to deal with that right now. I've got the horn going to deal with it. But once I've got it under control. Oh, he's left the door open. Not quite, nothing doing there. Right. Let off a little bit around here so that I keep within a decent range. Don't ideally want to cut the track there. Looks like this man is taking the try hard lines. But it doesn't matter. It appears on this back straight I've actually managed to gain quite a good bit of time. Maybe I can get him down round the outside. Oh, little bit of a handling problem there, but that's fine. And surprisingly, that S13 has actually got the fastest lap of the race so far, even with those cock-ups. but I'm making significant gains in this sector due to things like this. And you're getting quite close because of the good effect of slipstream. What? I'm just slowing down a bit for you so it gives you a bit of a chance to catch back up. So I've narrowed it down so it's an appropriate 6.5 seconds. And that is definitely achievable if I have something as easy as a skill issue. But of course this thing doesn't really very viable. Well, that didn't go according to my plan, but that will give you the edge now. I went a bit too wide into one of the corners. Approaching the corner now at 110 miles an hour. And oh, that wasn't exactly ideal. Ooh. Oh no. But obviously the Swedish machine is not giving up that easily. And luckily I managed to pull off a good lap there, but that was nothing compared to that 136. That was literally the lap that you pulled on that last one. Yeah. And with that, coming into that first race, you've won that by 7, just under 8/10, which is actually not bad at all. I'd say now it is time to move on to our next track and see if the Volvo will serve better there. But of course, that can wait a second. We'll just wait for the server to be back up and running because of a slight problem. It's fine. It happens, viewers. It has happened to me at least once. For a track like Monza, I'd say 3 is fairly reasonable. Because it takes like 20 minutes when you do like the race with the hypercars. And that's like 5 laps. Now the server has been rebooted. It should be all good to go shortly. Iron. Yes, we could do that real quick and see who's got the better top speed. Yeah, 2-1 to you because you got the better lap time and you won the race, but I spent less money. Well, wouldn't that also work though? Who spent the least would also count as a point as well? Okay, no problem. We'll just let this happen real quick.